Alright, we're going to be back with a slightly tedious video. I haven't been making many videos recently, which is bad, so I'm kind of falling behind. So I thought I'll just do a filler video, and today we're going to look at this, which is an Atari 1050 5¼ inch floppy disk. And I didn't actually bring, I haven't got any 5¼ inch floppy disks sitting on the table, which is a bit sad because they should have shown what they look like. But anyway, I'm intending on selling this, so I should probably keep it and make a video about trying to interface with it. But I'm probably not going to. But I might. I don't know. I might keep it. But I did want to see. I want to see if I have any other ones. This thing has a little switch on the front. I don't know where the power supply is for this thing, so I haven't got around to powering it up or anything. I'll probably just use my desktop power supply thing. But I forgot to bring that to the desk as well. But it has got the switch thing, so I'm interested in this because the resale value of this might increase somewhat if the switch is connected to something, which I think it might be, which is this little extra circuit board to enable it to do faster copies and things. I think it's sort of a happy something or other. So it's a bit grubby. So I thought I'd just quickly take it apart and have a look inside. So this is going to be what are they called? A teardown video. I don't know if I have the right kind of screwdrivers. I was going to go through and loosen up the screws before I did this, but am I even unscrewing anything? I can't even tell. I think yes I am. They unscrew very quickly, actually. So that's a plus side. Plus sign. I don't even know what is happening with these screws. Are they actually unscrewing? Are they that easy to unscrew? They could be. Well, that one's definitely unscrewing. So there's only a couple of screws. I just hope it's not one of these things that have screws underneath little pads on the side. I don't know how this kind of stuff works on this channel with this kind of camera angle. There's screws that go on that thing there too, don't they? No, I don't think those holes actually have any screws. There's probably one. I can't feel one. That's good. There's no one behind the sticker. And I'm not too sure about these ones. I feel like I'm going to undo them anyhow. Because what the heck. And they all look the same. They're all got a kind of old style look to them. And they certainly actually work well with a Phillips head screwdriver. So I actually hate Phillips screws. Like I literally hate them. I'm just not very good with them. I'm sure if you had the right screwdriver, but I'm just always ruining Phillips head screws. Those Ponzi head ones are great. That's what they're called. The few times I've ever used them. I'm not a screw person or a technical person in any sort of way. But who hasn't? How do you take this thing apart? Alright, there's a trick to this. The back bits come off, so I'm pretty sure most of the screws... Well, that one's not done, is it? This is just going to turn into a big mess on the table. I undid that one. It doesn't feel right. It's been a bit like at the moment I'm watching Stranger Things because it's just come out. And I feel like I'm going to be watching too much TV in the next month. But I only get... Okay, we did it. We got that one out. Now that's 4. I'm pretty sure that's every single screw. So you would think... So they don't know which is the way to take it out. This way? You'd think it would come off at the top. Oh, there's probably a screw on the front. Oh, actually, there's probably this thing. So this thing here is possibly holding it up. How am I going to get that off? That's the one thing I don't have any tools for. We're going to have to use... Actually, where did I put all the rest of the tools? Well, this video could be very, very short because I don't have anything. Oh, yes, I do. Hold on. Well, at least I thought I did. I should have a tool for taking things apart. Hmm. No. Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll use... Where on earth do these things go? They're right here. I've got to take this thing off, I think. I feel like you shouldn't have to take this off. I feel ridiculous that I'm having to try and do it with this thing. Given that I have an abundance of spanners, but none of them are right where I am now. Like, what I was not expecting, I didn't even really think about. It's not actually helping. Alright. Well, now I've done it. Now I've got to take it apart. I pushed the thing. I don't see why on earth that I needed to take that off. Okay, what is stopping it? I think there's probably, it just clips on. Maybe it's this thing. Oh, no, not that thing. That's separate. Maybe it goes forward. That's possibly it. I think. Okay, this is revealing the mystery of this. I suspect, now that I've got this little box open, I'll take out these little plasticky things, that there's something to do with this area here. Oh, I think I broke something. I should have actually really thought about that. And it's like, wow. Well, how did they take this off in the first place without breaking it? Oh, actually, this just comes off. That was so much easier. Well, I think I've definitely broken that bit. Wow. Out of all the things that you could break, that was the nicest. Oh, I definitely didn't have to undo the other part. And so now, how does this thing get taken apart? Oh, it's looking like I needed to undo something else. Something to get the top part to come off. I was just looking on the video. This is like very bad. Okay, so this is held in place by a screw, which is connected there. How does that work? Is it glued into place? It must be. Huh. Oh, these things, okay, right. Right, now it's kind of opening up. I don't see how you're meant to take this whole thing apart. Man, those Commodore 1541s are so easy in comparison to this. Here we go. Well, then I'd have to undo that one. Well, we can do that. Alright, so I'm just going to make a note. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but that's supposed to go in that way, with the little letter at the top and the little number at the bottom. So that one plugs into there. I don't see how to get this thing out without pulling out. Oh, I know what I can do. Actually, I can just undo this one. It's very colourful in here. Maybe I can't undo that one. Seriously, I have to be able to undo that one. Just have to. Alright, job for the pliers. No one can see what I'm doing, but I'm trying to get this thing to pop back out. I'm probably not wearing the appropriate clothing. I think I should use my fingers. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So now that I've done that, it should go like that. So that's the inside of this thing. Which is not so exciting. So this thing here is just attached to that. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The secret source is underneath the shield. Well, that's mean. That's super mean. Or it's going under, no, it's actually going underneath the whole thing. There's something that looks suspiciously like an add-on board, possibly there. How does this come off? I think they really want you to take the whole thing apart. I'm not too sure I want to take the whole thing apart, because I can pretty much guarantee you that I'm not going to get it back together again. I'm not actually sure what's holding the PCB on the ground onto here. Something is holding it in place. Oh, those things are holding it in place. Okay. So those are the worst kind of things to be holding it in place, aren't they? There's apparently two little nuts, washers, nuts there. And since I don't have any tools to take them apart, where is a torchy thing? This is light work. Hold on a second. Alright, so I'm just going to turn this light here. And nope, I honestly can't see anything through that shield. Oh, this is a worse video. Okay, I give up. I literally give up. I have no idea how I'm going to find out what's beneath the whole of this thing. So now, the fun part, can I put it back together again without breaking it? So anyway, I wanted to take this actually off because it's kind of an interesting little device. Because it's basically a little computer. So back in the older days, they made these little disk drive things you add on. Basically be intelligent devices. So they have their own little tiny bit of computing power inside of them. And this one I wanted to look at because it has apparently a 6502 CPU, which is the same one they use in an Atari 2600. Which makes me think, oh, so there's something else that they use that in. I've got a whole pile of, well, not a whole pile, I've got a couple of actual 25, did I say 2507s? 250, did I say 2600s or something? 2507s, 6507s, that I was going to play with, because why not play with bizarre little things like that? But, oh, that's kind of cute. Yeah, we can't really talk about that, because I can't get that thing off. This isn't going to be a clever channel where we pull things apart in a clever way. So now we're going to put things back in a terribly inefficient way. And I've forgotten which way. Right, the red, that's what I remember now. The red went. So this thing here is a nasty bit of cabling. Someone whoever attached the add-on board certainly had more patience than me. I did take apart a 1541, and to take it completely apart is a bit of a hassle. Alright. Now, I thought that was hard going on, but now, ooh. Alright. So that's gone there, and then this one here goes to that thing. Alright, and I think I've got that one the right way around. And then this has got to go here. So that's the going there. Now what did I do with that lid? So the front bit. Which is quite neat. So the question is, I mean the easiest way, so I think that's the giveaway, that in fact is an add-on, because it looks like it's being cut away or is drilled out. So that's a good sign that that thing is in fact not really meant to be there, and I'm hoping then I can at least sell it as suspected as having an add-on, instead of just a standard 1050. Like, all these numbers are really confusing this time of night. I feel like I should get this exactly the right way around. But hey, it's too late now. If only I had, you know what I mean? Because this is a switch, and obviously it's either going to be on or off. And I want it to be the way that makes sense for the person who's going to use it. But maybe, because I think maybe there's a cultural thing when it comes to on and off switches. I can't even think people can see that. So I'm going to try and put this back on. I think it goes that way. like, I don't know, because light switches are different in different parts of the world. Some people flick the switch up to turn the light on, and some people flick the switch up to turn the light off. And so, maybe the obvious way of doing this thing will be quite different, depending on where you come from. So I don't know who... That doesn't look like I've done it as well as I should have. So that's why they do these things. I've got a whole pile of these switches just here, actually, which I just got in the mail. So here we go. I'm going to do an undo. What are these things called again? A teardown, and a stupid mail thing, which I'm not normally going to do, but I got these in the mail just a few days ago, and they're kind of like that. Because I really do want to make some things. I feel like the wires should be okay. I really do want to make some things with boxes and stuff, which I'm going to do very soon. And so I've got to make things with switches, because switches are fun. There's no denying the funness of a switch. Alright, go on, don't. Have I got this upside down? No, I haven't. That would be embarrassing. Okay, oop. Sorry, my little mailbag just disappeared. Okay, so how's this supposed to go on? Don't push too hard. It's only going to break. Ah, it's broken. It's definitely broke. I feel like this could have been done, and it's not going on. What is happening with this thing? Okay, I have to turn it around a second. Oh. There's just not enough room on. Maybe you have to put it in that way, and then just sort of. Oh, that doesn't look right. None of this looks right. I wonder if they do have some Atari reference apparently. And look at that! It just pops on. That's nice, isn't it? Some Atari reference. Oh, well, I know they at least said at some point one of the characters says they're at home playing on their Atari, which I assume is not an Atari 2600 because it's set in like 1985. Are these all the same? These are all the same. So it would, you know, it's getting on a bit on in the Atari 2600's life. That's after the great video game crash of '83. So they're probably talking about their Atari 8-bit computer, which is what this thing is belonging to, and maybe the XL series was in fact, I don't actually know when the XL, so they had several series of 8-bit Atari computers, which are all essentially the same, they're just made better each time. There was the original series, and then there was this series, which is the XL series, and they all have the different stylings. And then there's the XE series, and which, to be honest, is the least exciting looking one. I don't know. There was it's a very 80s looking one, but this one is. I was going to start. I like the XL series. So we're going to be using Atari computers very soon for playing with joysticks. So we're going to make some Atari joysticks and make some add-ons for Atari things, and I'm only going to use that because I have an Atari computer sitting around and it's very easy to work with and plug into my little TV thing that I made. And so that will be straightforward. So we're probably not going to use this disk drive though, because I can't be bothered working with floppy disks, and I really do kind of want to sell this, even though I probably just broke it. But it doesn't actually. Oh, I forgot the screws on the front. That was a bit silly. I mean, I probably can't say to people now. Well, I am going to turn it. I am going to plug it into some power, and hopefully the light comes on, and it doesn't blow up. But I don't actually have the power thing for it. But people will still buy this. If you're not up on your, it's the wrong screwdriver. If you're not up on your vintage computer things, people buy the oddest of things. But these aren't odd. These are kind of useful. But I would like to. So before I finish this video, this is like a taster, because this is kind of like, you know, I'm trying to make sure that I've set myself up for future videos. These plugs at the back, which are kind of hard to see in this light. I can't get it any lower without doing anything on the camera. This thing comes off the. Oh, here we go. hold on. This is going to get pretty weird now, that's for sure. I'm bringing over my... I've got to undo the little rubbish bag I've got on this camera, on this thing. Alright, so here is a light, and now we can see in here, hopefully. Look at that flicker on the camera there. We just took it away. Special little plugs on the back. So I do have lots of cables for that I can chop up and use for other things. Where's the switch? So one thing I would like to do is play around and try and build a pretend disk drive for the Atari computer. So that the two things I could do, of course, is try and build a interface into this device, and so access this device without using an actual Atari computer. Or I could interface with the computer and pretend to be this thing or some similar device that plugs into those connectors. And these connectors are kind of like forerunners of USB in a way. And in fact, I think one of the people who designed this, Joe somebody, is in fact also a one of the USB designers. So there is a kind of link. But I don't really understand. I don't really know much about the protocol behind this thing or how this thing works. But I do know a reasonable amount about how the ones on the Commodores work. So I'm going to definitely try and build a Commodore interface at some point. Even though many people have done that before, but I just want to do it for myself from scratch, just for the fun of it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to do the basics to see how hard it is and how much fun. And also because I was always fascinated by the fact that people actually made new hardware for new computers and did things like making SD card interfaces for these computers and replacing these things. And so now I realize it's maybe not quite as hard as I thought it was, but still pretty hard. But it'd be fun to try and get there. I'm still wearing my jacket for once. So there, anyway, that was a terrible video, but I needed to make something. But the next video we're going to make, I'm going to look at this thing here and some other ones. We're going to go back to some fun ICs, but I'm not going to tell you what this IC is until the next video. So, and we're going to do some more Arduino stuff real soon because I've actually got everything ready. I just have to get round to printing things off and getting enthusiastic enough to go for it. So thanks for watching. Bye. That was the rubbish video, but bye.